Well, thanks so much for coming to help me. I am trying to find out the original layout, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to find out if there's any old elements that were reused and, what exactly was going on at the time. You're an architect. What kind of architect are you?
Just residential and historical.
Historical. So you would specifically study about the New Orleans architecture. One thing that I wanted to verify was the fact that some of the earlier buildings you said had wooden slabs, for lack of a better word.
Barge board sunk into the ground.
Barge board sunk into the ground. I would think would have to be this way, vertically. Yeah,
vertically.
yes.
They were only about that thick.
Okay,
they went 3 to 4 feet down.
3 to 4 feet down. It would have been like a brace before we start doing pilings, before they start being able to pour cement, which wasn't until about the 1830s, right?
And literally, they just bolted or nailed the sill beams to the barge boards, and then built the floor on top of the sill beams.
Right. Well, they said that little buildings
walls.
like WPA Writers Project gave us information from oral history from people that were still alive that knew Marie Laveau, that came to this cottage, that participated in things. And Catherine Dillon, I believe her name was, one of the investigators, swore up and down that this house was built on the original foundation. Now, I may have substituted the word slab, thinking that in a modern era.
Yeah, they didn't have.
Yeah, the slabs wouldn't have been until Schellinger cement came out in the 1830s. Yeah, and there were no sidewalks, and there were no. Yeah, so it would have had to been wood, and then you said it could have also been brick.
Yeah, the foundation may have been brick, or it may have been wood.
And if the brick would probably have to be 2.5 feet below because this was a raised area when they rebuilt, right?
Correct.
Just because it was marshy?
It kept flooding, and so they added dirt on top of it to stop.
Which works real well, as we know. Yeah. LiDAR? What does that mean?
The ground penetrating radar.
Okay, so you think it should go here where the shadow is?
About where my foot is. I'd say it was probably no more than 18 inches off of this fence.
So you think I could go straight down here for curiosity's sake, or,
Yeah.
I felt this was the original entrance.
Tell you what,
Psychically. We had a lot of issues here with the ground and with everything. But from a spiritual point of view, which you may or may not believe in, whatever happens in a place stays in a place. So even though this is a different building, it's on top of another, everything that happened there still occurs, and theoretically we can tap into it. So if I'm going to do most of my spirit communication, I'll do it in the room over there where they live more than over here.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
So we're going to tap in.
Your courtyard too would have.
My courtyard, yes, because everybody ate out there and played out there and did a lot of work, right?
And did rituals out there.
Yeah. They did rituals. They had meetings. They did them both, inside and out. But
dances and all.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So like 8 feet?
Let's say it's either 6 feet or 8 feet.
Yeah, about 8 feet.
And I can show you, this is not as old of an example, but I can show you one.
Absolutely, so what we can find physically and what we can find spiritually, I want to dig to the truth for all of it. So I'm glad to have an expert on my team, and you're my expert, Mr. Lewis.
In the Palisades were.
And which is?
Were the fortifications.
You're talking about over by where Palago Square is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ramparts. The Palisades, the ramparts. So.
Congo Square was outside of the ramparts, whereas this was inside.
Right. That was outside the city limits, and Dauphine was ditched. It was used like a moat. There was a wall that surrounded. They built up here later, so this would have been one of the earlier homes in this area.
Oh, most definitely.
And why it would have survived the fire of 1788, because it's too far away. So all that is under us, or in the air here, and we'll figure it out. Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
And we'll tell you after the radar comes in. Joyce. That's not Vegas. That's